Welcome everyone to Basil Roundtable Episode 1. Before we get started, take a deep breath and relax. And today we're gonna dive deep into three main reasons why a lot of us, start quite a few things, but for some reason we quit all of them. As you guys can see by the title there, it's not discipline or even consistency. So I want you guys to grab the pen, paper, make some notes because this is gonna take some times and really truly it's not gonna be a TikTok video for like 10, 30 seconds where you can just listen to something and then go out and do something else. We really want you to dive deep into these topics because it's fairly important you take some time to understand things at deeper level. So we're gonna go ahead just get started by looking at a similar scenario that all of us tend to go through. I myself have started countless things, guys. I'm sure you all can relate to it because we started things like you've done that before. You've started countless things. You've started the gym. You've started your business, the journal. This new year comes through. We have this idea of, oh, the new me. These are the things I'm gonna be doing. And then fast forward a few months later, you stopped again. We're not here to we're not here to judge people. I'm not here to judge you either. Like no one is perfect. The whole point of doing these round tables is so that we can learn from each other. That is the entirety of this video. We want to make sure we can identify certain roots. We can focus on those things and try to help each other, fix that. So let's look at some of the things that we this misconception that a lot of times when things are not going our ways or when we keep on restarting, you know, we tend to think, oh, you're not disciplined enough or you are not consistent with the things you say you want to do. And there are some truth to that, but that's when we're looking at the surface level of things. And a lot of us tend to look at things at the surface level, which is again, that's okay. That's not bad. It just means it is what I'm trying to say basically is we can look at surface level things, but sometimes you really have to dive deep into certain things. And for most parts, you just need a few lecture like this to help you identify what's missing in your life. I say one more time, please grab a pen and some paper and let's make a note. Okay, if the problem is not discipline, then we need to look at what is it that could be. So we have three reasons. We're going to be looking into that. And it's great to start with myself. If you guys don't know, I've started countless things, right? I've got about 10 or 8 to 10 YouTube channels that I've started on different niches because I wanted to become a YouTuber side of things. Then I went into blogs, then I went into fitness. I tried like different YouTube channels. I tried faceless YouTube channels too. I tried TikTok, Instagram. I tried quite a few things. It then went into trading, which is something that I was like, okay, this is new. I'm gonna show people who I am. And eventually I end up quitting trading too because all there's something else I'll be doing. Fitness, same thing. Started loads of business. We can talk about dropshipping, e-commerce. We can go ahead and look at building apps. Some software developers of was okay, this is a perfect time to build applications. So I built companies in a sense like businesses, not even companies. I'm like, okay, let's start this, dance. Let's build this. Let's start things. And I got myself into building and building and building countless number of things. And for some reason, none of those things exist. Like I've started them, but they're gone. As in like, I just moved on to the next thing. And SOS is something that tends to happen. I'm sure you guys have heard of shiny object syndrome, SOS, where we tend to jump from one thing to another. And I tell you this, right, so you guys can understand it. It wasn't about discipline. It wasn't the fact that I wasn't consistent with it either. It was something bigger than that. Now we tend to look at things at surface level, but when you dive deep, you get to understand why or why I started so many things, but I never finished them. And I had great reasons to why I moved on to the next one. Really good reasons as well. But that's not why we're here. So a few months back, not even a few months, right now today is the 7th of July. Back in May 31st, I ran my first half marathon. So as you guys can see here, I managed to get 1 hour and 15 minutes. And that was my first half marathon, right? And for me, that was incredible milestone because after 10 weeks of training, I actually finished it. And the same person, different identity. And that is a key thing right here. I thought to myself, right, if I start the thing I start, whether it's fitness, whether it's business, trading, uh, any sort of anything in life, I have this tendency of quitting in the sense of, yeah, okay, that's not me. Let me move to the next one and the next one and the next one. Anyways, that there, the marathon, half marathon was life changing for me. And it's not discipline. It wasn't a discipline problem. It is one of these. And I guarantee you, you are in at least one of them, if not all three combined. So we're gonna look slightly deeper into one of them, each one of them, one at a time, only because that's what happens. So this one here hits home for me because it's a crucial one. Like the fear of the finishing line, right? I will start by making things a bit simpler so that we all can understand what I'm talking about here. So when you have a group of friends, all of you guys, are sort of related and you guys have common grounds, you guys, feel like, okay, we are doing the same thing. So one of the things about the fear of the finish line or the fear of you becoming successful or the fear of you becoming a new version of yourself, it is something that we don't tend to think about, right? I'll use the marathon as an example because it's the easiest one, right? We're gonna just look into that, a bit deep into that. So I was not quitting things because I was scared, like I was, afraid of whatever's gonna happen. I mean, we're trying to make money. That's why we start drop shipping. That's why we start trading. So why would I be scared of making money? I honestly, it was more something to do with the fact that when you become this new version of yourself, it comes with new responsibilities, new expectations. And because you are succeeding, you're doing really well, you won't be able to tell your friend things like, oh yeah, I'm still working on it. Oh yeah, what about that idea that you said you were gonna do? Okay, what about the drop shipping? What about that e-commerce store that you start on Shopify? So when you tell them like, oh yeah, this is going really well, it's sort of it's something totally different. It's something new. So it kind of puts you in a position whereby you kind of hesitate a little bit. It's just to boil down what I'm trying to say. You self-sabotage yourself. It's not like that you're not disciplined enough, but it's the fact that if you succeed, you will have a whole new identity that might not be the same or similar to your friends. But because we are a collective, we work best as a group, we like to feel relatable, right, to other people. So if you start stepping outside of those boundaries, if you start to become this guy who's successful and your friends are still not as successful as you are, you will feel some type of way. Not even your friend, never mind them. You will self sabotage yourself. You will find a way to keep yourself small. The fear of the finishing line is if I finish this marathon, you know, I will be that guy in the group that has done a marathon. I'll be this guy that not many of my friends will be able to relate to. And so we s- quit. We started a new YouTube channel. Then it started going really well. For some reason, we find ways to run away from it. And you ask me why? Like I started trading right around January time, and by March, I I had to quit. Can you imagine why, guys? I quit trading because I was making money, and making that much money made me feel some type of way. I remember like talking to my friends, sending them screenshots of like, oh look, I made $500. Oh my god, look, I made 2K. That felt I just felt out of loop because none of them were making that much money and they're all busting their ass working really hard. And here I am pressing a few buttons after some analysis and making 500, 2K just in a few minutes. Felt overwhelmed. Obviously, that was a bit more emotional, the trading part. But I realized that I didn't want to become this guy who makes this much money in trading. If you ask me, oh, yo, guys, we're traveling, where we going? Oh, we need to go somewhere. How much money do you have? I'm like, yeah, it's fine. I have like 10K in my account. We can, fly first class or whatever. But most of my friends would not be able to relate to that. And so I quit. I quit. I stopped trading. I was like, no, I can't be trading. It's overwhelming. It's too much. The emotions just got me this high to the point I was like, you know what, this trading thing is great, but I didn't know you can make money this quickly. And I started feeling out of the loop with my friend because I'll be like waking up at certain hours, doing some analysis, checking the market. They can't relate to that. It's like I can't really, like I can't be your friend when you like the frequency that we are praying on was totally different. So I was like, okay, this is not gonna work for me. So actually that's one of the reasons. Not necessarily the entirety of it. It's not the entirety of it, but that was one of the reasons. It's easier to tell your friend, to be honest, oh yeah, I'm still learning to trade, not quite there. I'm not profitable yet, no, 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 because that way it doesn't feel like anything else. But when you say, yeah, I'm profitable, I'm averaging about around 10K per week. You know how ridiculous that sounds to your friends and to yourself. And so you don't feel like I can relate to these friends, to my friends anymore at that level. I don't mean like in general, I just mean like the level of financially at this case. Like it's crazy. But anyways, you guys get the point. You guys get the idea of what I'm trying to say, right? And another good example is my corporate job. That's another good example of something that I knew I wanted to leave, right? My corporate job for a very long time. But leave my corporate job means becoming someone else, having a whole new identity, which is not something that a lot of my friends would be. A lot of people can, even right now, they can't fathom the idea that I've quit my job because all we know is like in our group, you're supposed to be working really hard. We're supposed to have the same set of rules. We wake up early, we go to work, we finish around the same time, we can link up on a weekend, we can do things together. But once you become successful, or once you have this new way of looking at yourself, and they still see you as the old version of you, it is tricky though. It is tricky, and this is why you and we keep on quitting and starting new things, and we constantly on this loop because it feels easier to maintain and stay in that loop than to become so successful in your own way and looking at your friends like, guys, you guys need to catch up. Do you get it? I hope I'm making sense. Honestly, I really hope I'm making sense, guys. It's just remember the fear of the finish line, guys. It's easier to stay relatable, and that's what we want. Because as soon as you start deviating away from the collective, then you start becoming someone else. People start looking at you like, It's not making sense. But anyways, that's just a small part of it. A big part of it, guys, is actually what I'm about to show you guys next. This one here. Identity lag, it is by far, if there's one thing you need to take it from this video right now, is identity lag. My goodness. I've heard the term of be to have it before, where people say you have to become something first, do it, and you have the results. Like you need to be rich before you can actually be rich. You need to be rich before you can be rich. You need to become rich before you can be rich. It's the same concept. So the be do have concept, it is by far the most important thing a person like you and I can be and can focus on. And that is so important. So important. I'll use a few example, but the issue is not that it's like you've got your goals, obviously, as it says here, your goals move forward, but your identity still stay behind. And the example we have in the board by there, you're trying to build a business with the identity of an employee. You're trying to get fit with an identity of someone who's not fit. So I was trying to do quite a few things with a whole different identity. So the reason why I was able to smash the running, by the way, the reason why I was able to smash it, by the way, is because that identity lag, I closed that gap. I was looking at myself as a runner from the time I said, you know what, week one, week two, I'm like, this is not enough. You need to become a runner. You need to see yourself as a runner. So that when it came to run the actual half marathon, it was so easy. As we can see here, this is who you are now. This is your identity lag. And this is who your goal needs you to be. And you need to be first before you can have it. You have to become that person. You have to act. You have to put the energy out there. You have to walk the walk. I really hope I'm making sense, right? So back to the half marathon, right? 10 weeks, by the way. It's just because you decided to become someone else. The first 4 weeks of training, of course, when you first get started, it doesn't feel like it. But you need to, if you can do it like even before you started, even better. Because if you can get yourself to the mindset of I'm a runner and you start behaving like a runner, you eat like a runner, you train like a runner, guess what? The results will be of a runner. So yes, it was definitely a mindset shift because I thought to myself that running is not. I'm not a runner. I'm just trying to get a half marathon done. No, that's not how it works. You've got to become a first before the world can improve it to you. I had to become a runner first in my head before the world can prove it to me. I had to become a runner first before the world prove it to me. I had to become a runner before the world can prove it to me. I'm hoping it's making sense. So, yes, your identity is far more important than anything else that you have in mind. If you want to become a business owner, you really have to have the mindset. You really have to become a business owner. You can't be a business owner and have an employee mindset. You can operate from those frequencies. There are two different frequencies. If you have an employee, you operate from a certain frequency. If you're a business owner, there's a different frequency that you operate from. You can't mismatch things. You have to be operating the same frequency so you can actually achieve the goals you have to. So moving forward, guys, what you need to make sure is that you become a first. And that comes to anything, right? I will go and use the example of a trader because now I'm currently a trader as we speaking, to be honest, because this is the life that we live. So I'm a trader now. So I see myself as a profitable trader. I identify as a profitable trader. I see it. I act like it. I behave like one. And so my actions correlate to the person I am. And therefore the results I've been getting, it is profitable. I'm good. I'm happy. I'm no longer scared because I've done the identity shift first, which is something that a lot of us need first, by the way. When it comes to a business, the same thing. You have to become a business owner before you can have a business. You have to have the identity first before the world can prove it to you. The reason why I say the world can prove it to you is because we live in a third world, in a third dimension, where everything is bounded by time and space, meaning that even though the identity might happen instantly, right? But the world in which we live in, is bound by time and space. So some things will take some times. That's all. That's all it means. It just means that if as long as the identity is there within you, that's most important. As above, so below, within, so without. So just make sure the identity is there. And then anything that you want to become will be easier. Same thing with people that want to be rich. Right? I know we don't I want to teach you this sort of stuff, but you have to become rich first. Identity, the way you look at yourself, so that you can have all the riches, things that you wish to have. Why is that important? If you truly take some time and think about it, if you want to become rich, right, you can't have the identity of someone who lives in poverty. Again, I'm talking about identity. I know some of you guys probably gonna have a good, like a whole different idea. So you can't live or have the a scarcity mindset and be rich. Like you need to be abundant because you're rich. Nothing should fade you, but all this stuff, it has a lot to do with identity, how you see yourself. You can't be out there going places and complain about things being expensive. You can't be out there. It's the little things sometimes that you want, that you notice. You can't be out there and say, "Ah, man, I can't pay £2 on this." You can't be saying to yourself like, "I'm broke." You can't be saying to yourself, "I don't have enough." There's so many little things that you say is the reason why you're still broke, even though you want to become rich at a conscious level. That's what you keep on saying. But your subconscious mind probably still way behind and operating from a poverty point of view. You can't be wanting to be rich and have a scarcity and poverty mindset operating from those frequency. Does that make sense? You've got to move away from it. You really have to. Your identity is so important. Anyways, but like once we had identity shift, I mean, the run was the easiest part, man. Once I knew it, I was like, oh, I'm a runner. I behave, I act, I do this sort of stuff. The training part was just the part that you need to do. Like, this is so important, by the way. Let me just say this one quickly. The issue with a lot of people that pray, a lot of people love praying, which is great. But faith without action is just as dead as action without prayer. You need both. And this is why, like in the Bible and everything else that we know of these days, it talks about us being able to connect at the spiritual, mental, and physical level. The body, mind, and spirit is all trio. The Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit is all trio. Like this is like Trinity is a real thing. It's all connected, all of it. So my point is, if you wanted to become rich at the spiritual level, at the mindset level, mental level, you should be there. You should be it because it's instant. Like you should let God guide you. And mentally, you should know, you should see, you should identify yourself as someone wealthy, someone rich. You should behave like one. That's what will help you attract things in the physical world towards you. That's why the rich keep on getting richer and the poor keep on getting poorer, just simply because they are attracting more poverty towards themselves, whereas the rich are attracting abundance. And one's gonna come and argue about different ways, but it's like, bro, this is deeper than the surface level things you listen to or watch on TikTok or whatever the heck people watch things on. It's deeper than that, guys. Anyways, let's move on to the last part because I have so much I can say about all of these topics. But moving forward, it is the starting addiction. I think because of SOS, again, shining object syndrome, we have the tendency to want to start things because of the dopamine effect. As soon as you have an idea, as soon as you have something that comes in our mind or something that a friend of ours share with us, we have this, oof, okay, this is it. This is the new me. I can now become rich because job shaping, because trading, because ABCD. So we keep on starting new things, and starting new things is addictive because of the dopamine hit you get. You get this amazing dopamine hit. You're like, yes, I'm about to change the world. The first 2 weeks, you really grind on these ideas. You're really working hard until a few months goes by and you realize that damn building is difficult. This is why we keep on starting, guys, because it feels amazing. But the building part is boring. But this all because of the dopamine effect. It's so much I can go into this one here, guys. But I think is most people are just addicted to dopamine. I mean, you see that on social media, you see that on many places in our lives. Because that dopamine hit it feels good. And so we keep on craving and searching for it and keep on self-sabotaging ourselves so we can start up again, find this new shiny object and think this is it, and we try again just to find out that this is not it. Anyways, like I said before, this is Basil Roundtable. I've started quite a few businesses. I've got lots of emails, lots of open page on Instagram. But Basil is actually the first one I've kept for the last few months now, and it's the one that I currently run a live event in Manchester, the UK, every 2 3 weeks, and it's amazing to like bring the community together and have a table of people where we can discuss these amazing ideas, and I love it honestly. And we're not here like chasing for the next shiny object. No, we're not doing that anymore. So to conclude, as you guys can see, I don't think you need more discipline or consistent or be more consistent. I think you just need to become the person who finishes it. And by that, what I mean is the key word is by the becoming the person who finishes it. Like your identity is far more important than the what you end up doing or saying yourself. So make sure that identity shift happens first, guys. So important. So to make life easier for all of us, so I want you guys to pick one thing you've quit in the last few months. We start today. Just like don't even think too much. It's today, not tomorrow. Today, at least, like people will never get this right. The actions, the okay, I'll start today. It is so important. Not tomorrow, not next week, but by starting, it doesn't mean you need to finish the bloody thing right away. What it means is you've got that pain that is starting. You will write the new stuff. Like you're gonna go ahead and start this, whatever it is that you quit previously, you're gonna start it. But this time you're not gonna just start from this what do you call it? This new identity that you sorry, we're not gonna start with the idea of oh this is it. This is gonna finish it, this is gonna make us rich or anything like that. But really truly you wanna start with an identity. That's what I'm saying. Like the act of restarting is how you rewrite your identity. And we need to focus on that. Not just chase the next object and shiny object, but really truly making sure that we're starting with an identity, which is far more important. I'm not sure where most people are, but listen, this is Basil. If you're in Manchester, you can come to our event. We have this weekly event every 2 3 weeks, as I mentioned. If you wanna dive deep into spirituality, really truly, go to my website, basil.co.uk, book a consultation. I need to remove that. It's not free consultation. I had a free consultation at some point. My time is far more valuable than I used to think. So No, it's not free, but if you want interested, there's quite a few things I would suggest you guys download it first. I've got a faith first journal because everything that I talk about is based on faith. Everything that we talked about here, it is actually mentioned in the Bible. The Bible has it all. That part there, I said he didn't say it would be easy, but he said it would be with you. That's actually in the Bible. That's Jesus talking to his disciple and many other people that Jesus spoke to. That he never said things were going to be easy. He just said, listen, trust me that I'm here with you. Even though you might go through this hurdle, this bumpy road, Jesus is still with us. Again, trio, Trinity, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, body, mind, and spirit. Gosh, go ahead if you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comment below. If you like this style format, I've got quite a few things I want to bring here, but I'll just keep on bringing more videos for you guys, honestly. And yes, basil.co.uk. Check us out. Follow me on TikTok at Bruno Lifestyle. That's where I make short version of these videos. And if you enjoyed, as always, like, share, subscribe, and I'll catch you in my next one. Make sure to be kind to yourself. Take a deep breath every now and then, and enjoy the rest of your week. Take care.